Despite this cocktail coming from the 1940s, I think the name is still just as potent today. And that name might be as potent as the cocktail when you figure out what's in this. Hello and welcome back to the Cocktail Alchemist, and today we are covering the Merciless Virgin, and I am so excited for this one because we're going back to my favorite rum of Plantaray. We've been doing a lot of aged rum cocktails with Smuggler's Cove, so I'm glad to go back to my go-to bottle. Either way, let's get right into it. Also, if you guys know something new, I got a new juicer, and I have been loving this thing since I got it. So much easier to use than my last one. I should probably pull the cup out before I glaze the juicer too much. So we're gonna start off with just under. As I was saying, we're going to start off with 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. And to that, we're going to add 1/2 ounce of seltzer water. Once again, I'm questioning the usage of seltzer water in this cocktail, but at least it's not an as egregious amount as the last one we used it in. Like, that Sidewinder's Fang just had way too much seltzer for what it's supposed to be. Still a great cocktail. Definitely check that video out. But tone down the seltzer, as I said in that video. We're going to do 1/2 ounce of cherry hearing. This is giving me sort of a Singapore Sling type vibe, but made with rum. Of course, that's another cocktail that I could have featured in this summer, but I didn't. I feel like most people know about it. It's a pretty classic cauldron. And I want to show you guys some new stuff. Side bend to the side. We're going to do 1/4 ounce of dry curacao. This is a cognac-based orange liqueur, which is different from Combier or Cointreau, which is more neutral spirit-based. Then we have our Velvet Falernum, of which we're going to use 1/2 ounce of. For those who are wondering what Velvet Falernum is, it's a rum-based liqueur that includes the flavors of lime, ginger, allspice, just all those islandy flavors. And it's a pretty good product, so definitely try it out even if you're not familiar with it. And finally, we're going to do 1.5 ounces of Plantaray, or your favorite lightly aged rum. Now then, this is a flash blended cocktail, so we're going to add just about 1 ounce of crushed ice to the mixer, and we're going to whip it up. Let's start bringing paper towels just to put on the bed. Now then, we're going to put this into a Pilsner glass, which is normally used for beer, but Smuggler's Cove uses this a lot. So I'm going to follow the book. I'm going to double strain this guy. Get all that lemon pulp and possible seeds out. This to the side, and we're going to fill this up with crushed ice. Center this now as we continue to fill. And as I always say, you want to pack as much crushed ice as possible into these drinks, because that's how it works best. Just gonna put a little bit on top. And that's pretty good. And for garnish, we're gonna use 2 cocktail cherries Yeah, I got him on a little pirate skeleton kick. I figured that would be great for Tiki. There you guys go. Merciless Virgin. Let's give this guy a taste. Wow. So, right off the bat, you get that sourness from the lemon. That's being not really amplified, but balanced out by the dry curacao and developed falernum. This is almost like a daisy-style cocktail, but in tiki form. Because there's no syrup in this, aside from the residual syrup from the cherries. The only sweetness is coming from the hearing, the curacao, and the falernum. That's actually... I didn't think of that until now, and that's pretty cool. I don't see a lot of tiki cocktails in the daisy style. Really makes this one interesting. I still don't get what the seltzer water is doing except for the body, but when I did look down into the flash blender, the agitator wand just barely got into the liquid, even with the crushed ice. So maybe that seltzer water is just to amplify that a little bit, because this is not nearly as big as something like the Sidewinder's thing was last week. This is incredible, though. I really love this. Maybe just like a phantom lemon peel on top would make this even better, but it's pretty good. Definitely mix this one if you have the opportunity. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Have a good one. Cheers.